Morning, guys. Welcome, Options Trade King members. We're going to take a look at the futures here. See, I was getting a little bit ready this morning. As always, we have the comments running. Please try and ask questions in the comments. It's easiest for me to take a look at while doing this instead of going back and forth. Okay, so futures. You know, I've charted out a couple different scenarios here. So this could really go either way. Measure the height of this channel. So I would like to think this is going to go up. However, if it doesn't, you know, so we have this channel right here, right? If it breaks out, it would break out. Yeah, we'll see how this sticks, I guess. So the way I would like to see this happen is just like back here where we had a breakout. So we have this little downward channel right here. First price target would be the width of this, right? And just coincidentally, that gets you right up to a bigger picture breakout. And what I could see happening if it gets out of this channel, it's coming back down, retesting, and then breaking out of this bigger channel. Is that going to happen? I don't know. We compared 2020 and 2021 SPX. Austin, be a little more specific. I don't know what you mean. Like 2020 had coronavirus, had the election. I guess I don't know what you mean. How you want them compared. So, you know, I guess you can keep. I'd be more than happy to just explain a little bit more what you mean. So we see, and then we see. Let's go look at the SPY real quick. From what time frame are you talking about? From when in 2020 are they looking similar? Guys, please like and subscribe to the channel too. That always helps us. We appreciate it. Okay, so the SPY here, we did gap down a little bit this morning. I like to see that fill. If we can't hold this 9 EMA, which already kind of failed over here, I could totally see this go down to the 20. I like to look at the SPX sometimes. Yeah, SPX is still showing we're in an uptrend. We had some pullback, caught support, and we're ripping through. I don't know why the SPY looks so crappy all the time on here. Maybe we need to go to the 5 minute. Look at those. Look how. It just doesn't look right. It's weird too, because certain times of day, like this morning when I was looking at pre-market, it looks completely different. I say that because it lets me fade out pre-market and post-market hours. Now it doesn't for some reason once it gets past 7 o'clock. So anyway, we're up here, guys. It's still trending, looking weak. We're looking oversold. Overbought, I'm sorry. We're looking overbought. We got a slow stow 80, which could be a sign of reversal. You see sometimes we up here and it goes down. Here you can see that we got, you know, oversold. Now we're looking like we're kind of overbought. RSI is showing the same thing. Daily, January to March. Okay, let's look at that real quick. Daily SPX. Well, I mean, here we had a 3384 to 22. I mean, that was the WSB boys right here when they had that little fiasco with GME here not too long ago. I think so anyway. Oh no, that's 2020 right there. Okay, so here's March of 2020. Daily January to March. Yeah, this was. It doesn't really look the same because here's January to March, and here's January to March. I mean, had a little. That was WSB. I don't know what that was, but this is Corona, and then it, recovered, and now we're continuing in the uptrend. Just look how steep that is compared to normal S&P growth, and especially when we're coming out of a. I mean, this is all gotta be stimulus money. There's nothing that explains. I mean, most of these stocks are still. I mean, businesses still aren't great. Look at that growth, though. That's just crazy steep compared to what it normally is. Makes me think there's going to be a correction at some point. The question is when. I think we might hit 4,000 before we see a major correction. But we see and then we see. Yes. So just like I talked about in the forum this morning, guys, so this weak market to me right now means I am not playing as risky as I was. You've seen I'm posting a lot less lottos. The few chart plays I have played, like cost, which cost is finally turning around. I feel like some of my plays just got pushed out because of the market week. But here, let's go to the 15-minute again. And this is really what I expected last week to happen. So last week we took this, it was right around here. I expected it to hold this. I was right up in here. I expected it to hold this, and because we attempted that 100 EMA, I expected this to hold and to reattempt the 100 EMA again and get a break through it. That didn't happen. Now we're trying it again this week. And it's almost the exact same setup because we're looking oversold. We're overbought. Gosh damn it. I keep saying that backwards. We're looking overbought. We're hitting against the resistance. It's either going to trend along this or it's going to come back. Oh, it's already come back down. Yeah, here's pre-market. So it already got rejected. It's come back down. And now it's got to consolidate again. So I don't know what's going to happen here. Like I said, the market's just not cooperating. It's not doing what I expect it to do. Like I told you too, the SPY keeps going up, but yet big tech stocks aren't, which is just bizarre. Apple's not. Facebook kind of was, but then it pulled back. Let's look at Facebook. Yeah, Facebook's pulling back. No big moves out of big tech, which should be moving the SPY, but the SPY keeps moving without it, which is just not normal. Okay. Let's keep looking here. Yeah, so once again, I'm taking more long stock positions, taking more leaps right now, not doing as many risky plays. Guys, Craig takes a lot of plays. He's posting a lot of plays. Craig has a huge account. He's over $1 million, $1.5 million. He can take that. He's still taking a relatively small position compared to his account size and all those stocks he's doing. Okay, because they don't all work out. And they're all pumps. So when's it going to go down? NEO, I'm holding on to. So you can see here I've been tracking NEO quite a bit. It did not get as high as I expected. Came back down. I really expected this to hold. We broke out of this. We see what happens right here, but if we can't get back up in this channel, and it's already going down. So what happens is you get up against this, right? And that's a retest. So you broke out of a channel. It almost always comes up and tests and falls, just like I showed you guys with the SPY here, or the ES just a minute ago. Whenever you break out of a channel, it usually comes back and retests for a previous support as resistance, and then it goes down. So NEO very well could hit low 50s here before getting a strong enough bounce to continue. I'm going to hold my long-term plays, but very disappointing. Got earnings coming out March 8th. I'd like to see a bounce off of this and then get a strong run up in earnings. But once again, market is not cooperating as much as I would have liked. ACI. Not sure what ACI is. Oh, Albertsons. This is currently trending lower. I don't see anything that would make me want to get into this right now. You can see a very clear downward trend here. I would like to see it break out of one of these channels before I took it. Break out, come back, and maybe get on the retest. But this is still showing. This has kind of been in a downward trend, right? So you guys know what a bull flag looks like, right? Well, this is the exact. A big fall like this and then a slight up. That's a bear flag technically, and now it's continuing on its downward trend again. So you got to see if this 100 EMA holds. If this 100 EMA doesn't hold, you can start looking at some other supports down here probably. And I don't know where the 200 EMA is at. Is it? Huh. I'm not sure where the 200 EMA is, but let's just take a look here quick. Oh, it's not showing me for some reason 200 EMA. That's weird. Either way, I'd like to see this hold. If it can't, your next support's going to be down here. If it can and can get back up through these, it's got a chance to run. But, out of all the plays, I'm not sure why you'd be looking at Albertsons, but it doesn't look terrible. VUSI. Down pre-market. Not sure why. That's at all-time highs. So I imagine what will happen now. So it's catching support right here on this resistance. Catching support. What we'd like to see is it hold that and then reattempt for previous highs if it was me. Otherwise, your next support is, once again, guys, I always tell you this, but it's EMA, right? Here's support. Well, it just happens to be right on previous highs and supports over here. It's not a coincidence that happens. But that's where VUSI's at. It does look like it's getting some good volume here, though. So I'm not sure if it's getting pumped or what's going on, but it does look like it's getting volume. Vanguard equity. Looking over, it was anyway. It was looking overbought a little bit. Pulling down a support. I'd imagine it catches a support and then I imagine this probably moves upwards today. We see and then we see, but that's what I would imagine happens. It catches support right here, and then it gaps down, and then it'll catch support and try and start filling that gap. Just like here, see how it fell down real hard, and then the whole day it worked on filling back up that gap. That doesn't always happen, but here it gapped up, closed the gap going down. Now we're gapping down. Like to see it try and close it upwards. We see and then we see. BA. So here's when we broke out of a channel, came down. So this is a prediction from before this all happened, right? But broke out, came down and retested, caught support, and this has been an upward trend. Price target on this, I still like. Just gotta make sure this stays, keeps above these EMAs and keeps going up. But I have a March and May call on this, I believe. So I still like it. I think I took it back here when it had just recovered, or it had just broken out is when I took that, I think, if I remember right. Next. Yeah, I think Austin, I agree. I think there was a pullback due. Look at 2009 to compare to 2010. Yeah. I only have so much time here, guys. Nvidia. I said this is like a year like none other. You can't really compare it to previous years. Nvidia. All right, so I told somebody else the other day, you really want this to hold 600. 600 was a new kind of support level. It's that psychological, but the market's weak. It's fallen below that. You'd like to really see it catch here on that 585 at the very lowest. If it doesn't, this will start to pull back even lower, down to the 580, 565. We're running into earnings here, but it is already running up a little bit. It might run up a little bit more, but earnings is coming up pretty quick. Earnings is early next week, February 24th. Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick. I mean, that's just next week now, less than a week away. Goldman Sachs, okay, Walmart. Whoa. What happened to Walmart? I would want to go read the news on this, but that sucks. Actually, while we're sitting here real quick, let me just pull up my Webull and just see what the news on Walmart is. That's got to be something bad, I would think. WMT news. Earnings expected on 2/18 before open. Is that today? Oh. Then people must be expecting bad news or something? Oh, they missed. So Walmart missed earnings. Earnings 139 per share, and it was estimated 150. So they missed, and it had, priorly came down not too long ago, but it was kind of running up back up into earnings, right? People must have thought they were going to that retail was going to blow the water because of how Amazon did and different things. It did not do it. Missed, so they are tanking hard. There is, and once again, no surprise, guys, support right here. If it doesn't hold that, I imagine I'll do a 200 EMA bounce. Not likely to fall below the 200 EMA. It's been a long time since that. But could be a good entry, honestly, for a long-term swing. Goldman Sachs. So, guys, a few weeks ago, I said Goldman Sachs was kind of out of my play. I wasn't going to play it for a while. It's finally kind of getting back to that point where I'd play it. I said after earnings not to touch it for, 3 or 4 weeks. Well, that's about what it's been. And we are just above previous highs. Actually, pre-market, we're sitting on this previous high. As long as that holds, this could keep running up again. Now it has to hold that, so I'd probably wait and see what happens, but it has to hold this after the market opens. Otherwise, it could fall down, get support on the EMAs, and then reattempt again. But Goldman Sachs is getting right about to that play zone again. OGI. I don't know what's happening here, guys. This is probably one of Craig's picks, I'm guessing. Look, you can see all this volume. It got heavily pumped. Heavy green, and then it started to get heavy red, and now volume is falling down. So without some more volume, I don't see, a lot going on for this. You can see here this, never had volume like that. This would have been your indicator right here. This is probably the pumpers getting in and starting the pump, and then they pumped it and it got some traction, and then they took their profits. Can't say for sure. Pumps do that though. Tesla. Yeah, guys, I'm just not real confident. I mean, I told you guys if it broke 800 a while back that, it was going to fall down and test this 780. We fell below that 780, and I said if it fell below the 780, you could very well test 750. It's still attempting here, but it's getting, it's sitting on a support right now, but this is still in a full downward trend. You can line it up on the tips there. You can see it almost, but that was probably that was a new day. Never trust opening, pre-markets. They can be deceiving. You got to wait until the first couple candles form, but that's still in a downward channel. It's just on the upper end of a downward channel. You want to see it to break out of that. The 9 just down across the 20. I don't remember the last time that happened for Tesla. It's been a long time. That was back in November prior to the election. It fell from 465 down to 380. But look how spread out this has been. Like, this is unsustainable growth. I said that last night's video. So, see, then we see LGHL. Oh, by the way, I'm not playing Tesla right now. I was playing last week. I thought I was going to hit 1,000 before it hit anything else. Here, guys, same thing. I can't, because these are momentum stocks. I mean, they kind of play by chart rules, but not by much, because they get pumped. I mean, yeah, they still find support and resistance and run up, but it got a bunch of volume. That's what caused this to go up. I can't do much on these kinds of stocks. I can't predict what a pump's going to do. Best thing I can say to do is, and I'll show you guys here in a minute what to do with pumps, okay? What the heck's going on with Apple? Apple. There it goes. Okay. Here was my wedge. This is what I expected to happen was on this breakout. Okay. This is called a false breakout. This is why you wait for. Now, I took it here because I like to get ahead of the game, right? But if you're playing an objective strategy, which is a very by the book strategy, you wait for it to confirm that it is now support. This did not confirm. This was a false breakout, failed, and then it broke downward. Just like I told you guys, you predict the first price, right? And that's about exactly where it is from the breakout. Now it's recovering. Now, this would be now testing this as resistance, and it's getting shoved down further. Apple did not cooperate. I liked Power Trade's play the other day. He took it right there, but Apple has been failing. It's catching support right there. It'll catch a lot more support right here. You can see it. But there is support really close to where it's at right now. Next, Uber. Earnings just happened. It's a little bit of pre-market. It's catching support on the EMAs. It's catching support. So not only on the EMAs, right, but this previous high, once again. I mean, how many stocks, guys? All these patterns look so much the same. Like I said, you look at them like I do, you start seeing all these patterns, but you got to look at them all the time, and you just start seeing it. It happens on all the stocks. Anyway, catching support right here. I'd like to see it hold this support. If it holds this price, I'd stay in. If it falls any lower, I'd be careful. I wouldn't want it to see go below the 20 EMA again. I'd really like to see it hold the 9 as it just broke through and it's retesting for support. Once you break through resistance, almost always comes back. It doesn't have to be right away, but almost always comes back and tests the support. Both earnings that just came out yesterday, I'd really like to see that support hold. So we see and then we see. TLRY. The next one. Another pump, guys. TLRY was one of the WSB pumps. I'm trying to stay away from that stuff now because they're not just doing pumps anymore. When they were pumping up SNDL, I called Craig the morning that it fell real hard the first time because I'm in their WSB room and they're in there chanting, crash it at open, sell it open, sell it open. They're not just doing pumps now. Now they're coordinating crashes together to screw, to make sure they're the ones that come out on top. Okay, I'll check out some of these. These are penny stocks. I'm not doing them. This one is at earnings, crashed hard on earnings, found a floor. I'd like to see it start holding these EMAs, but this could just be you can see here it tempted right there too, right? This very well could fail. I'd like to see it hold that price ultimately and make a run up for this 20 EMA. It's not looking, RSI is unbiased. Slow stow is low, which is a good sign for as a long. This could be reversing. I keep an eye on this. It doesn't look bad right now. I'm not sure it means take a position, but it could have that indication soon. AFL. Aflac insurance is doing pretty good. To me, it looks like this got, so I like this setup. It had this high, it failed, came back up, and it's retested. Now I'd like to see it hold above this price, above the 9 EMA, but I'd really like to watch it, reattempt this again and break through this. There is some resistance right here, as you can see. If it can't get through this, it's most likely failing, and it's going to go lower again and catch some more consolidation before the third attempt. So Aflac's just one you got to watch. Aflac. Energy stocks are hot right now. Yep, just got some massive volume right here for some reason. I don't know if it's getting pumped or what. Came back and it's getting consolidation. As long as it holds these prices, this looks like it very well. I mean, this is breaking through resistance, testing for support. As long as that holds, I think this will continue upward. So I'm not in that. Once again, guys, I'm just kind of giving you an idea what ins and outs would be. Mile. We got a couple more minutes here, guys. Mile retested previous highs. It's failing. It's coming back down. It needs to either hold this level to reattempt this one, or it's going to come back down and catch support on the EMA before going up again. So you got to watch and see if this holds this and gets back up for a reattempt. If it fails this, it's going down to the 9 EMA. Guys, ride's a Bitcoin stock. Bitcoin does well, this does well. Okay? Bitcoin's over 50,000. Bitcoin gets to 100,000. Watch out. Riot and Mara will go nuts. SOS. Once again, guys, this looks like a momentum stock to me. Guys, this was 51 cents in the last 52 weeks. This is one of Craig's plays. I guarantee it. It's getting pumped. It had a lot of green here. It's starting to get some red. And now the price is coming down. Does it catch a bounce and continue? Depends on the volume. Just got to watch the volume on these guys. Momentum. Crocs. Crocs looked great yesterday. Let's look at Crocs. So Crocs just came down, and I think King took this play right about here on this 90 EMA support. Did go a little bit lower, but it instantly recovered and came back up. Which tells me it wants to hold this 9 EMA. We see, but if that continues, looks good. We had a 50 EMA recovery, and you'd like to see it run up into earnings, which is coming up. So it is at new highs. So it got up here, it came down. I'd imagine at the very least this is going to go for a retest, right? We usually see at least, that's why you get some double tops sometimes or triple tops. Is it's, either it gets through or doesn't, but a double top is a sign of a reverse. That's because it just can't get through, but this looks like it would have at least another attempt at a double top. So I do like Crocs. Fubo, we do that one quick. Fubo's catching support as long as it gets back above this 9 EMA. I think it could run. You can see I've tracked this before. Guys, once again, price target, height of the channel, right? It's exactly where it hit. Same with this one. You can see a channel right here. Height of that would have been that much. Height of the breakout, exact same. Okay, what I'd like to see here is a breakout of this channel to start moving back on the uptrend to retry some of these other resistances now that have formed going into earnings. Let's look at, if you guys going to play a hedge, guys, I would play either VIX calls, SPY puts, and you can just use that to protect yourself. Don't do too heavy, but it makes it on a real red day, those would be up. On a real green day, they'd be down, but it helps hedge your positions, okay? Especially if you have a larger account. If you have a smaller account, like I'm not hedging. I'm just playing safer. I'm not getting some of these speculative short-term calls. I'm taking the leaps. I'm doing some stocks. I'm really heavy in Rocket right now because I see low risk there, and I see some great potential if they announce. But that's where I've kind of sunk my money for the moment, and some cash. Okay, I wanted to show you guys real quick my trading ticks. I'm going to do a lesson on that this weekend. Okay. But they have some great new stuff. But so the market direction, according to this, is bearish. You know, this market momentum is still bullish. Market direction is bearish. Think about that. So even, this is AI predictions, but even this thing is confused. Okay. Hottest sector is energy right now. But they have this nice chatter function where you can go and look at like Twitter and see what's trending. Apple is really trending. Tesla, Amazon. I mean, so some people think that this is, that Apple is going to take, I just told you guys it took that big dip. That's, Apple should be a lot higher. So this is probably trending a lot that people are getting on Apple. Yep. So Apple tanked, and now it's probably going to start getting some volume. Microsoft was getting tons of, I would imagine that here pretty soon you see Microsoft show up on this list because Microsoft was getting tons of long flow yesterday, tons. And that also tells me that I'm not the only one that's concerned about the market. Okay. Once again, guys, please like and subscribe. You can go Wall Street Bets. GME and PLTR are the two top ones on the chatter, their daily chatter and their weekly chatter. Like I said, I'm trying to stay out of their crap now. I don't like these guys anymore. SPACs are trending high. CCIV obviously is trading high. But like I said, this is one of the tools I use. I love this. ARK, that's Kathy Woods. You can see that, for investing, lots of people are following Kathy right now. And Kathy, I think, just bought a big chunk of PLTR. So, I could see PLTR turning around in the near future because whatever she invests in, other people seem to follow. I say that, it's one of those Wall Street Bets ones, but that could mean too that they're tanking it. I guess I haven't really watched what they're doing lately, but PLTRs are their second most chattered list, right? But if they're the ones that tanked it, Kathy Woods is now buying it. So anyway, there's this, guys. This also does some, stock AI predictions. This is catching flow and then doing recommendations based on its confidence level. So here it thought, yesterday the FSR for the weekly was a buy at 18.8. Let's just go check FSR at 18.8. So down pre-market. This thing thought that AI yesterday apparently thought that when it got back over this mark, probably that it was a good call and then it was going to recover. And actually, that does seem like me too. It seemed like this should have continued ripping once it consolidated along this. Instead, it's failing. I don't like this market right now. Yes, this is TradingView. I love TradingView. If you guys DM me, I'll send you my personal setup that you're seeing here. I have linear regression channels that I watch. Those are great for telling short-term directions. Here's a 15-minute chart on this is pointing up right now. 30-minute chart's pointing up. 45-minute chart's pointing up. Hour-minute chart's pointing up. So to me, this is showing that, this is still in a long-term trend. Now, the longer this stays in this downward channel, the more this will start to rotate downwards. So what you'd like to see is, the price is down right here right now. So you'd like to see it catch support here and then shoot back up in these upper channels. But we see and then we see. Anything else you guys want to talk about real quick before we go? I'll wait a second because I am a little bit delayed. Please, once again, like and subscribe to our channel. be available in the room. Oh, I do want to go over FSLY real quick because somebody was asking about that in the room. You know, honestly, yesterday I told guys, you know, if you played Power Trade's call, I said the smart play on this I thought was to probably, if you wanted to play the earnings card on in case this ran up, which it did run up for a minute and then tanked, but the smart play on this would have been to roll up and do 110 calls. And I say that because it was the next area of, it was, you know, if this really got momentum from earnings, I could have seen it easily returning to 110 and overnight, you know, if you had this week's or next week's, you would have been way up. If you grab this week's, they're probably not worth much today. If you grab next week's, they'll still have a little bit of value. You know, I took some. I'm going to probably I took a couple of each. I'm going to get out of those today. Liquid item at open. But earnings must not have satisfied. The reason I took longs on this, guys, was because this came down prior to earnings. So I thought maybe that, you know, if they had any kind of positive news, it would return right back up to where it was. But that did not happen. What was that other AI? So that's called Trady Ticks. TRADY Ticks. I'll put that in the comments real quick. Okay, this is one of the tools I use. They have chatter, crypto, stocks. They have AI. They do options flow. They have options psychic, bullseye, lots of different things. If you get this, they have Scanny, which is a, you know, it tells you certain stocks and what, you know, what bullish. It's a scanner. You can pick certain, if you like certain trend line support or relative strength, yearly highs, you know, short and out, short interest, you can do that. Like I said, I'm going to do a class on this weekend. Flash, this is for options, but this would be, I think this is for options, yeah. Or maybe not. I have to go look. Flash is a new, he's just recently added a bunch of new tools to this. I haven't looked over everything yet. They have a back tester, performance, you know, performance help. What this means, though, guys, is it's accurate for like 3 hours or something like that. I asked him one time. He answered me. This is set for a, you know, if you take these, that it's accurate for, the direction is accurate for 3 hours at a time. You can see that. So just the other day, a couple days ago, this actually called out a QS call, which is now up. It had, you know, getting high AI confidence helps, but it's up 366%. You can see some of the other calls that called out here recently, but this thing puts out a lot of calls. You can filter it down by doing, you know, higher confidence rates, but it's still an AI. I don't trust it. I just watch it. So, okay, guys, good luck in the room today. If you have any questions, I'll be around. So will Craig. He just tried calling me. I'm going to call him back and chat with him a little bit before pre-market. I got to get my son up and ready for school. So stocks go up, stocks go down. Then we see. We'll talk to you guys all in the room today. Good luck.
Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm